Welcome everyone to today's show. My name is David Cantu. I'm one of the co-founders of Best College Aid, the leading online college planning platform in the US. And in today's video, I want to go over a very special interview that I had the chance to record last week with one of our members. This member, Jazmin, was accepted to one university, but she only applied to one school. So on this video, I will go over what she did to get accepted to the University of West Georgia with a scholarship and into the honors program. So if you are a parent of a high school student, or a middle schooler, or if you are in those grades, make sure that you like and subscribe to this video so that you do not miss out on all the content that we upload here inside Best College Aid. Now, I do want to go over and say that just because she had these results does not mean that you will have the same results. That's the disclaimer. Obviously, there are lots of factors that went into her acceptance, and every student's story is different. Every family story is different, which I'll go over and talk about her story in a moment. But this is just one example of our many success stories that we've had inside Best College Aid. So before we get started, also let me know in the chat where you are joining us from. And if it's the first time that you watch us, put a 1 in the chat. If it's the second or third time that you've seen us, if you've been here before, put a 2 in the chat just so that I get a feeling of who is joining us. And obviously I will give different examples based on how many people we have here that are new. Also, for those who just joined in, the title of this show is how she only applied to one university and was accepted to that one university with a tentative presidential scholarship. And I say tentative because she still has to go through the interview process for the honors program. I will go over this later on. But with that being said, why don't we just get started with the presentation, with this sort of inspection of the interview that I had with them last week. So as you can see, that is Paola. That's her mom. They're from Argentina, but they lived in the United States. They moved back and forth, but eventually they settled in Georgia. So they are Georgia residents, and Jazmin got accepted to the University of West Georgia. She only applied to one school, and we typically advise our clients, our members inside Best College Aid to apply to 8 or 12 universities, Reach, Target, and Safety Schools, all that good stuff. But because she was so confident in her academics, in her extracurriculars, I will go over this later on, she just felt comfortable applying to one university. I do want to say again that you're not supposed to follow this exact advice. This is just one case where it worked. Obviously, we recommend going for that 8 to 12 university range, but it worked for her, and we'll go over why in this video. Jazmin was accepted into the honors college. A lot of universities have honors programs. My school at Marist College did offer me to be part of the honors college. I didn't join it because I had already committed to 20 plus hours a week of swimming on top of a work study job that I had. So I decided not to be part of the honors program because I knew that if you graduate with a good enough GPA, you can graduate with honors, which was my case. However, there are lots of benefits for some students that do want to be in the honors college. You get access to priority housing, you get access to priority selection of classes, and of course, you get invited to certain scholarships that they don't offer to students who are not in the honors program. I'll talk about that later on. But the admissions criteria for every university can be different. There's the GPA. In this case, this school in particular was asking for a GPA of 3.5 or above. Engagement in extracurricular activities. We'll go over what she did thanks to a lesson that she watched from inside our online course, Best College Aid. And then obviously a submission of a personal statement, which is another word for an essay, right? So that's the requirements for this specific school. If you have been accepted, or if your student has been accepted into an honors program, please do let us know down below. But why this is important is because lots of students who get into the honors college of their respective universities will have the chance to apply for a presidential or an honors scholarship, right? This is just one example of the benefits of being in an honors program. And as you can see, with the presidential scholarship, every year they award it to a small number of incoming students, honor college students, and these awards can cover the whole cost of tuition, which in this in-state tuition, in this case, I think this was 2021, 2022, was around $4,000. I think for as out of staters was around $8,000. It also covers room and board, which is very expensive. Room and board can be of around $11,000 or $12,000 in most schools. It also covers it is also renewable for up to 3 years. So I think it's for the 4 years of college, but you do have to read the little lines, read between the lines, the small fine print within your acceptance letter. And the reason why extracurriculars were so important and were key to our student was because she was telling me, right, in this interview, that she was watching a lesson. As you can see down below, that's how our online course looks. And in this lesson, we were talking about the importance of extracurriculars. Jazmin was telling me how she had no idea how important extracurriculars were. And after watching this lesson, she went into the website that we recommend to find nonprofits and organizations. So she came across Glamour Gals. So I don't know if I'm saying it right, but she went into this website and realized that there was no chapter in the state of Georgia. So what did she do? She created her own chapter, and a chapter, it's a local or regional extension of the nonprofit. And that is how she became the leader of this chapter within her state. And every 2 weeks or so, she would go to the elderly person's house, typically a woman, and paint her nails. I think it's all female elders. But she would paint her nails, their nails. They would chat, and they would just basically keep them company. She talked about this in her essay. She talked about this, or she will talk about this in the interview that she will have to determine whether or not she gets the presidential scholarship. And that was a big factor on why she got accepted in the first place and why she won, or she's about to win, fingers crossed, because she has to go through an interview, win the presidential scholarship. Now, what else did we do with these students? What else did she do to, get accepted with scholarships? Well, she also filled out the FAFSA. We helped her complete the FAFSA, as you can see down below. We also have that tutorial inside our Best College Aid course, and she had to complete the 2024-2025 FAFSA form. A lot of people are having issues with the FAFSA, but in her case, it was no issue. They did struggle a little bit, but she got it all done. A lot of students are now getting it all done. So I do hope that you also complete it soon enough. Now, another scholarship that she won on top of institutional scholarships was the state scholarship, the Zell Miller Scholarship, right? Again, this is tentatively because she's still waiting, but I think in her school they told her that she is very likely going to win this scholarship based on her academics, based on her extracurricular record. But all she has to do now is complete the application, and in no time, I guess we'll find out if she gets both the presidential scholarship and the Zell Miller Scholarship. As you can see, the Zell Miller Scholarship can pay 100% of the standard tuition. So let's say that she doesn't win the presidential scholarship, or she only gets a partial scholarship from the honors program. Well, then with the state scholarship, she could cover those 4 or 5 grand of tuition per year. Okay, so fingers crossed. This is something that we're working on with our student inside Best College Aid. And what are some lessons and advice for other parents, and lessons and advice that I want you all to keep in mind? You have to get familiar with the system, the educational system in the U.S. Both parents who were born here and parents who immigrate here, they seem to not know a lot about, deadlines, about FAFSA. A lot of people even pronounce FAFSA wrong. So that tells you that there's a lot of misunderstandings within the space of the education system, K through 12. You can take specific classes to get ahead and not pay the full cost of college. Another lesson that they shared with me was that the process was so complicated that they had to stay organized as a family. They had to know which responsibility was the parent's responsibility and which task belonged just to the student. They had to know each step of the college admissions process, and they loved the fact that they had someone like Francisco, Laura, myself, all our mentors inside Best College Aid, guiding them through the unknown process. All right, so that's some of the takeaways from this interview that I had with our particular members inside Best College Aid. And what's the future looking like for our student? She did tell me that she wants to continue her academic career after she graduates from her undergraduate degree. After she gets her undergrad, she wants to continue with a postgraduate degree in neuropsychology. So far, that's the plan. And she thinks about working in an organization, whether it's a nonprofit or a private organization. She really liked the experience that she had with this nonprofit that she, the chapter she created. So that is some of the takeaways, some of the lessons learned, and what the future holds for our student. As a member of Best College Aid, she has a younger sister, and we will continue to help her and obviously her parents along the way. So if you want to learn even more strategies, to maximize the odds of getting accepted into college with scholarships, we have created a very special presentation on the top secrets to getting accepted to college with scholarships. Francisco is the one who created this presentation. It is below this video. The link is below this video. And in less than an hour, you will learn more than what you will learn in the 4 years of high school meetings with your counselor and whatnot. That's something that parents have told us. And if you are interested in watching this presentation, you can go below this video on the description, or Laura, who is in the chat, can share the link to this presentation. All right. So that is it. That's everything that I had prepared for you today. This is one example of one of our members who's had success. We will continue to share, summaries like this later on. So hopefully you liked this video, and if you did, make sure you like it, subscribe to Best College Aid, and share this video with anyone who needs it. I will see you in the presentation, or I will see you next week on another one of our videos. Bye-bye, and take lots of care.